I've been part of a team that's gone on to win 3 in a row. It's crazy, really, and you kind of forget about it sometimes.
Like all the guys that I played with growing up through the years, like we're all still friends and everything. So it really is it's a good family sense and a good community sense.
We had won in All Ireland in 97, 99, 2000. It's more local at your club, you know everyone, you know the setup. It's different than joining a county panel.
It was nearly like a kind of statement to say, we're here, we're ready to play. No one's going to push us over this year.
This podcast is sponsored by Declan Kirby GAA Star. Declan Kirby GAA Star is a children's GAA book written by primary school teacher and GAA coach Michael Egan. Follow the trials and tribulations of Declan Kirby and his team at Smithgreen Gaelic Football Club. The book is a very good read for any parents who are looking to get their children involved in Gaelic games. The book is available in Easons, Lidl and all good bookshops. It's also available to download on Amazon, so make sure to go and check it out. They're very good supporters of the channel and the page, so you'd certainly be doing me a good favour as well if you went ahead and checked the book out. So I do very much appreciate it. The link is in the description down below, and let's get straight into it. So Ballygunner won their 8th Waterford Senior Hurling Championship at the weekend. They beat Roanmore by a scoreline of 227 to 13 points. A 20-point victory for Ballygunner to make it an incredible 8th county title in a row. There's not many counties that can, or not many clubs that can achieve such a feat. You know, winning 8 county titles in a row in a competition that's very competitive as well. Like, you think of all the top hurlers in the county of Waterford. You know, you've got some great teams in there like De La Salle. Roanmore have obviously had a very good year. De La Salle actually in a relegation playoff, of course, at the weekend against Ballysaggart. They obviously came through that game, relegating Ballysaggart in the process. But you think of sides like Passage, you've Abbeyside in there as well. So for Ballygunner to win 8 county titles in a row, an extraordinary achievement. And we will discuss the game a little bit in brief detail, but mainly the point of this video is to discuss whether can Ballygunner finally win an All-Ireland Senior Hurling Club Championship. Can they finally get over the line there? Because they've only came through Munster once in this time period. They've obviously had to compete with the likes of Napirshig in there. You've had some, you've had Boris Lee, who obviously came through in 2020. So you've had a lot of very good sides that have been coming through the Munster Club Hurling Championship. It's been fairly competitive. It's been very competitive, actually, as a matter of fact. And I think that is what makes the Munster Club Hurling Championship very, very interesting. And for Ballygunner in particular, like when you actually look through some of their, county title wins over the past couple of years, like they've all been very, very comprehensive. Like what we said, it was a 20-point victory over Roanmore, but last year against Passage, they beat them by a scoreline of 123 to 9 points, so a very comfortable win there. They beat De La Salle the year previous by 9 points. They beat Abbeyside the year previous, very comfortably as well, 219 to 13, 218 to 16 against De La Salle the year previous, 420 to 112 the year previous against Passage. So you get my point. Ballygunner are comfortably coming through Waterford year on year, and they've obviously produced some top class hurlers at that club, the likes of Pádraig Mahoney, who's been there the past couple of years. He's really sort of led the line. You've obviously got Peter Hogan, who's come in as well, and you've obviously got Desi Hutchinson, who came back from playing professional soccer with Brighton, and obviously he's back in the fold with the Waterford county side, and obviously now he's back in the fold with Ballygunner as well. He obviously was involved last year when they came through the Waterford Senior Hurling Championship there, and this year as well. And he scored 1-9 actually in that game versus Roanmore. He got that early goal, lovely sidestep onto his left hand side and powered it comfortably into the open net. And obviously Ballygunner started the game very, very briefly, and just like kind of running through that game in particular, Ballygunner very, very dominant from the offset. It was a big occasion for Roanmore, obviously playing, the surprise package coming through to the Waterford Senior Hurling Championship final. Certainly no one really expected them to be in the Waterford Senior Hurling Championship final this year, so the fact that they came through was certainly a massive, massive credit to them. And, Gavin O'Brien hit 7 points for Roanmore of their 13, so he was probably their standout player. But for Ballygunner in particular, like what we said, 1-9 from play for Desi Hutchinson, an extraordinary performance, lovely little flicks at different stages as well, getting ahead of his man, taking some beautiful points. in particular over on that right hand side of the pitch, and always cutting back on his left as well, which was really impressive, and hitting it from his left hand side, which I thought was extremely impressive. Porrick Mahoney with 9 points, Cormac Power with a goal, Peter Hogan with 2 points, Michael Mahoney with 2 points. I mean, there's a whole host of scorers here. Jake Foley, Harry Ruddle, Kevin Mahoney and Connor Power all getting on the score sheet as well. So a whole host of scorers for Ballygunner. A very comprehensive victory, a very comfortable victory, and of course sending them into the Munster Club Senior Hurling Championship once again. However, despite all Ballygunner's success at the Waterford Senior Hurling Championship, it has been in the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship, and in particular in Munster, where they just haven't been able to get over the line. And obviously there's been a number of top-class clubs that have come through the ranks in the past couple of years, of course, in the Munster Club Championship. You obviously think of Na Piarsaigh, who've had a lot of very good battles with Ballygunner. Have beaten them on a couple of occasions. You think of Kilmallock, when they've come through Limerick, have been very impressive. Cratloe have been impressive as well. Boris Lee obviously got the better of Ballygunner on the most recent Munster Club Hurling Championship final, on a day where Ballygunner were entering as massive favourites. So I suppose in particular for Ballygunner, they obviously came through in 2019. They beat Na Piarsaigh that day by 6 points. That was the one that they won. Unfortunately, they were beaten by Ballyhale Shamrocks in the semi-finals. And look, listen, it's going to be very interesting for them now going into the Munster Hurling Championship. I mean, you've obviously got possibly the likes of Na Piarsaigh coming through. If they come through Limerick, I mean, they're a serious team. They've got a lot of top class players in there. Whoever comes through Limerick is going to be a serious threat, there's no doubt about it. We'll see what happens with the Cork County Championship. Obviously sometimes you have divisional sides in there, so we'll see what happens there. Tipperary's always, whoever comes through there tends to do quite well as well. So, but certainly for Ballygunner, given their experience, given the fact that they've won 8 county titles in a row, given the players that they have and the likes of Porrick Mahoney, who's obviously now back in the side, having been injured for the past couple of seasons, he's back in the team now as well. You've obviously got Desi Hutchinson, who's come back, like what we were saying before, from playing soccer in Brighton, and now he's playing his best hurling ever, and he seems to do very well with his club as well. He was brilliant last year, and he's been very impressive so far this year as well. So, looking at Ballygunner in particular, Peter Hogan coming through there as well, just a whole host of talent. Cormac Power looks like a very good option in the team as well. You've obviously got Michael Mahoney in there, Kevin Mahoney. So a whole host of options in this Ballygunner side, and you would wonder going into the Munster Championship as well. It's going to be very competitive, and it's going to be very exciting, very interesting. I would still expect Na Piarsaigh to get the better of them at this moment in time if those two were to meet further on down the line in the Munster Championship. But certainly that is a meeting that I'd be very, very excited to see, and certainly be a game I'd be very interested to see as well. And they do seem to have that extra spring in their step as well when they're coming through Waterford, when they're playing hurling in Waterford. So if they could just bring that same intensity going into the Munster Club Championship now, I mean, they'd certainly be a proposition. They'd certainly be a tough team to beat. I've said certainly a lot of times, haven't I? But yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. And they definitely do have a serious amount of talent in their team. And Peter Hogan, Porrick Mahoney, Desi Hutchinson, like what we were saying before. Defensively, they always seem to be quite impressive as well, which has been one of the more impressive things. You've obviously got Stephen O'Keefe in goal as well, who has done a fantastic job with the Waterford, in goal at Waterford over the past couple of years. Obviously wasn't in goal this year, but in the past couple of years previously, he'd been doing a good job there. So Ballygunner, no doubt about it, a team to watch now going into the Munster Club Senior Hurling Championship. Definitely a team to watch out for, and definitely a team that could potentially come through Munster this year. And can they break that duck? Can they get through Munster? Can they go on and win an All-Ireland and win their first ever All-Ireland? Because, for how dominant they've been in Waterford, you would feel like they do a little bit better. Like, they're a team that's playing in Munster year in, year out. Okay, fair enough that there was no Munster Championship last year because of COVID, but generally speaking, they've been there every year, and they've been a side that's been there or thereabouts. So can they take the next step? Can they push on? Can they potentially reach an All-Ireland final, or even win an All-Ireland? That's kind of the big question. With players like Desi Hutchinson in there who's come back, they're definitely going to be an interesting team. And, it's going to be interesting to see who they come up against now going into the next round in the Munster Championship, and obviously progressing from there as well. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap this up here anyway. Do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be recording a podcast later today with Limerick senior hurler Dan Morrissey. So if you have any questions for him, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I'll certainly include them in the recording. And, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all soon.